Stan, now this is take 4. Nothing else can go wrong. Take 1, my wife decides to ring me up halfway through because I'm on my phone. It shuts down the recording, so I can't edit. Take 2, cat invasion, trying to knock all these displays off. Take 3, it was in the wrong orientation, like that way instead of that way. So I will attempt to do this for one time, last time. So it's the revitalisation or the removing around of my medal display. You've seen these before, the basic British and German sort of collection of medals. Unsure about that because definitely 2 o'clock in the morning there'll be cats start walking all over here and they're going to go psht, so I'll have to do something with the overhang. The main item is my friend at work who I've known for a long time, served my apprenticeship with. He passed on to me some items that were his wife's grandfather's. And his name was Major George Bates Martin. Now, I'll point out what he gave me and what I did. Right, so he gave me his mention in dispatches certificate, the photograph of him on the hospital ship ABBA, there he's in the middle. It's all signed on the back. And he gave me a sort of gazette here, and that tells you about his death. I've added the binoculars, cigarette case, simply because I had spare medals, about to buy a couple. They came in that cigarette case. I don't know if he was a smoker, but it's period, so that's going on there. A reproduction, long service, good conduct. You stay away from this display, you pal. You caused enough trouble last time. A reproduction one because a couple of reasons. It was only £18. It is a decent repro. You get a look on it. I'm quite pleased with that. Also, this lot won't be able to be sold off as his medals because they're not. Another relative has them. A cap badge and shoulder flash. And now I've done the medal setup as per the photographs. He did have a photograph of the relative, of the medals the relative has. So the oak leaf, everything as it was in the photo. If it's wrong, please feel free to tell me and I'll correct it. The hospital ship ABBA, a postcard photograph of, and I just put some information on there. So I think it makes for quite a nice display. It's only a rough draft, if you like. I'm open to suggestions. Sometimes I find with displays you've got to live with it a little bit before you finalise. Nice bit of perspex on the top, which stops people like him sticking his face where it's not wanted. So we'll just have a little read of, I'll put that little bit of card around there. So Major George Bates Martin was born at Thornbury-on-Tees on the 4th of May 1905. After serving in the ranks of the Royal Army Medical Corps from private to warrant officer, he was granted emergency commission in 1942. He served in the hospital ship ABBA during the periods when British troops were being evacuated from Norway, Tobruk, Greece and Crete. He received a mention in dispatches for his services. After the war, he served mainly in the Middle East, West Africa and Far East. To his widow and family, we extend our deepest sympathy. So he was born when I was only a couple of years old. Now, this is the history of the ABBA. I read it out last time. I don't think you really need to know all that. It was made for the Imperial Russian government, but work on it was suspended the October Revolution. It got taken in, used as a cargo ship, and plied its trade around West Africa. It was, let's have a look, most important bit, September 1939 was requisitioned by the Admiralty and converted to a naval hospital ship in March 1940. She was transferred to the army and took part in the evacuation of Norway and was then transferred to Alexandria. In May 1941, she was bombed and damaged off Crete and then used variously on Eastern Mediterranean, Middle East to South Africa services in March 1944. Clearly marked as a hospital ship, she was again bombed at Naples. After repair, she was used in the North Atlantic, and after D-Day was used on the Southampton Cherbourg service. Decommissioned in January 1947 and returned to the elder Dempster and Company. She was too old to be worth reconditioning, was sold to Bawtry Steamship Company, Liverpool, and renamed Matrona for conversion to an emigrant carrier. However, when her ballast was removed, she fell onto her side in Bidston Dock. She was eventually righted on June 1948 by 7 locomotives on specially built tracks. That would have been interesting. She was then towed to Barrow-in-Furness for where she was scrapped. So that's the ABBA. That was quite an expensive item to buy, considering what it is, a photo postcard. So there is a picture, an oil painting of the ABBA it must have been in the action worth of look. 2 seconds. When she was attacked on her way to Alexandria, I think. Yeah, there's a photograph. I looked it up on the photograph. A painting online you can buy of the Abba being shielded by a Royal Naval vessel. So that's Major George Bates Martin. His I suppose a tribute. Obviously, I never met the bloke. He's not related to me, but it's a nice way to set up a couple of little items, string them together. I do believe he said there was some sort of book that he might be able to pass on to me as well. So if he does, fair play to him. And I hope that he watches this video and sees that, I think I've done it justice. I mean, he passed them on to me simply because he knows I collect militaria. I did say to him, you know, if you don't want these items, maybe you'd be better off selling them on. And he said, no, you can have them. And, you know, I like to think that anybody who gives me something, I'll generally find a use for it. You know, it's because I don't just think, oh yeah, thanks for that. I always try and use things in my display, and people often do give me little bits. And it is nice to set something up like this. It gives you a sort of a germ of an idea, even if you don't want to give me the photograph or the mentioned dispatches certificate. I could have worked around that. So that's me medal display as is at the minute. And my friend over there must be feeling the heat. I'll keep away from these medals, you pal. So, take 4. I think we've done it. So this is Stan, nearly talking for nearly 7 minutes. And I hope you like the display. Any comments, feel free to say you got the medals the wrong way around, or etc, etc, etc. I'm not, it's just a first off little having a go at it, you might say. So yeah, this is Stan. See ya.